For decades, culture painted the Roswell incident as a clumsy mistake, a highly advanced alien species somehow losing control and plummeting blindly into the dirt. The actual events of that night were deliberate. It was a calculated and deeply tragic sacrifice. To understand why, we have to look at the true nature of our planetary neighbors. Extraterrestrials from Mars and Venus exist in what are known as etheric bodies. Because these etheric forms are composed of what modern physicists call dark matter, these beings, their homes, and their spacecraft operate at a vibration completely invisible to the human eye. These visitors evolved beyond the need for offensive weaponry or mass destruction, observing human history for centuries with horror at our recurring cruelty. They remained silent observers only because of a cosmic law, a strict mandate forbidding interference with the natural development of other planets. That silence broke in 1945. When the United States detonated the first atomic bombs, humanity crossed a threshold that the observers could no longer ignore. The subsequent rush to hoard nuclear weapons and construct radiating fission power plants created a type of atmospheric pollution and radiation that posed an immediate existential threat to all physical life on Earth. The extraterrestrial observers realized they had to intervene before we annihilated ourselves. To save humanity, they devised a desperate plan to force physical contact. The visitors faced a severe logistical problem. You cannot issue a dire warning to a human government when your very existence is invisible, and anyone who claims to see you is quickly dismissed as hallucinating. A small crew of Martians volunteered to provide undeniable physical proof to the American military. They knew it was a one-way trip. This chart shows their plan. To become visible, the crew artificially lowered the vibration of their spacecraft and bodies, dropping from a high-energy state into our physical plane. Materializing over Roswell, they deliberately drove their ship into the dirt. American military personnel rushed to the crash site and recovered the scattered physical wreckage, along with one critically injured surviving Martian. The government finally had its concrete proof of alien life and ultra-high technology. The surviving visitors delivered a clear, urgent ultimatum. The United States must dismantle its nuclear weapons and immediately halt the construction of dangerous fission reactors. In exchange for disarmament, the extraterrestrials offered to help the world develop sources of safe, limitless free energy and to guide humanity into a peaceful interplanetary community. Through this extreme sacrifice, the Martians backed the United States leadership into a corner. They forced the government to choose between keeping their apocalyptic weapons or embracing a cosmic utopia. President Harry Truman and his inner circle of Cold War generals reviewed the extraterrestrial proposition. Instead of seeing global salvation, they saw a threat. A highly advanced, peaceful species undermined their military authority and directly challenged established religious doctrines. Elite power brokers, including figures like Nelson Rockefeller, recognized a severe economic danger. Limitless, free energy would allow developing nations to rapidly industrialize, eventually outcompeting Western capitalism and ending Anglo-Saxon dominance. The decision was unanimous. The leadership ignored the aliens' warnings, choosing to protect their nuclear monopoly and preserve their absolute grip on global power. In a closed-door decision, the Truman administration effectively vetoed a plan to eliminate poverty, disease, and energy scarcity across the entire globe. To manage this secret, they created a covert military intelligence cabal. Hidden deep within the defense infrastructure and funded entirely off the books by illegal black budgets, this group was tasked with handling all extraterrestrial contact. They quickly stripped away all civilian oversight. Operating from the shadows, this rogue intelligence network poured its endless resources into trying to catch up to the aliens technologically by reverse engineering the downed spacecraft. But their most aggressive operations were domestic. To ensure no one ever uncovered the truth, the cabal launched an intense, decades-long psychological warfare campaign against the American public. They targeted anyone who claimed to have seen an alien or a UFO. Operatives subjected ordinary citizens to hypnosis, heavy drugs, and MK-Ultra mind control techniques to implant false memories and discredit their testimonies. They went as far as staging fake alien abductions and secret cattle mutilations. These atrocities were carried out by ruthless, soulless enforcers, commonly known as the Men in Black. The goal of this terror was specific. By framing the real, benevolent extraterrestrials as violent, demonic invaders, the cabal ensured the public would naturally fear any future contact. The cover-up, begun in 1947, ensured that the promise of free energy and cosmic peace remained buried, trading a potential global utopia for a century of orchestrated conflict and environmental decay.